Have you ever looked at a millionaire and thought, man, if I had that kind of money, I'd be living like a king? Big house, flashy car, designer clothes, first-class flights to exotic islands. That's the dream, right? But here's the twist. The real rich? The quiet millionaires? They're not spending the way you think. In fact, you might spend more recklessly than they do, and you don't even realize it. Shocking, isn't it? Because the truth is, there's a secret most of us never see. The wealthy, the ones who stay wealthy, don't throw their money around just because they can. Nope. They treat money like a tool, a weapon, a seed. And what they don't spend on tells us even more than what they do. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. You're about to discover the hidden habits of the truly rich and the surprising things they avoid spending on, even when they have millions in the bank. Let's get into it. 1. Overpriced luxury items. So many people think the first thing rich people do is buy designer everything, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Picture this. A man walks into a high-end store. He could buy anything: cashmere coats, $8,000 watches, purses that cost more than your rent. But instead of reaching for a flashy label, he picks up a simple black jacket. It's high quality, stitched to perfection, but there's no brand splashed across the back. No shiny logo, no bragging rights. Why? Because he doesn't need to prove he's rich. He knows it. The real wealthy don't dress to impress strangers. They invest in things that last. That means timeless, well-made shoes, tailored pieces that won't fall apart next season, and tech that works, not just wows. They don't chase trends. They chase value. And the irony? The ones who try to look rich usually aren't. The people showing off the labels, the bags, the glitter are often drowning in debt just to keep up the image. But what they don't know is real wealth is silent. It doesn't scream. It whispers. Number 2. Brand new cars. Now imagine this. You just got a huge raise. Your friends say, time to upgrade your car. And there it is. The shiny, untouched, brand new luxury vehicle sitting in the showroom. Tempting, right? But here's what the rich know, and what most people don't. Cars are traps. The second you drive that brand new car off the lot, it loses value. Thousands. Gone. That $100,000 car, it might be worth $85,000 by next month, and yet millions of people fall into the trap every day. But the wealthy? They play it differently. They buy slightly used cars. They let someone else take the hit on depreciation, or they lease. Carefully, not to show off, but to stay mobile without losing money. Because to them, a car isn't a trophy. It's a tool, nothing more. They'd rather have money growing in investments than fading in the garage. And here's the punchline. That same $100,000, when invested properly, could become $1,000 over time, all from not buying the new car. Now tell me, who's really making the smart move? 3. Extended warranties. Let's talk about fear. Companies know people are scared. Scared of things breaking. Scared of being stuck. So when you buy a phone, a laptop, even a fridge, they hit you with that line. Want to add a protection plan? Just a few extra bucks? It sounds smart, responsible even. But the rich, they see the game. They know that most extended warranties are just money drains. Why? Because they already do their research. They buy reliable brands, high-quality products, and even if something does go wrong, they can handle the repair easily. So why waste hundreds on just-in-case plans? Instead, they self-insure. That means setting money aside quietly for unexpected costs instead of throwing cash at what-ifs. It's not about being cheap. It's about being strategic. Because every dollar you keep is a soldier you can send into battle. And when you multiply that habit across your entire life, over the years, that's how wealth survives. Number 4. Frequent home. Renovations, everyone wants a beautiful home, but there's a line between upgrading for value and changing things just for the sake of change. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen someone rip out a perfectly good kitchen just to get a newer one? New backsplash, new sink, new countertops, all for aesthetics. Meanwhile, they're taking out loans, maxing credit cards, stretching budgets, all for the look. The rich, they don't play that game. Yes, they upgrade. But when they do, it's intentional. They invest in energy-efficient windows, better insulation, solar panels, not just because it looks good, but because it saves money over time. They don't chase Pinterest trends. They chase returns. That's why their homes grow in value while others just get more expensive to maintain. It's not just about comfort. It's about strategy. Number 5. Flashy jewelry and accessories. Now this one might surprise you. You see someone wearing diamonds, gold, chains, a Rolex, and you think, wow, they must be rich. But here's what most people miss. The rich, the truly wealthy, they don't need to prove anything. Sure, some might wear nice watches or quality jewelry, but it's subtle, classy, functional, not in your face, not screaming. For attention, because they know attention is expensive. Flashy jewelry doesn't just cost money, it invites risk, theft, targeting, and more often than not, it attracts the wrong kind of energy. Instead, they invest in accessories that have meaning, a watch that lasts generations, a ring with personal value. It's not about the sparkle, it's about the story. Number 6, eating out. Every day now, listen to this. You'd think that once someone gets rich, they'd be at fancy restaurants every night, right? Caviar, golden steaks, private chefs, the works. But guess what? Most wealthy people, they don't eat out every day. In fact, they avoid it. Shocking, I know. Even though they can afford the most luxurious meals money can buy, they choose something completely different. Home-cooked meals. Why? Because it's not just about saving money. It's about control. Control over what goes into their bodies and their bank accounts. Imagine this. Instead of spending $50 or $100 on dinner every night, they whip up a gourmet meal in their own kitchen for a fraction of the price. And here's the twist. They often say those home meals taste better. Plus, they get to enjoy it with family, friends, or even in peaceful silence. No crowds, no waiters, no unnecessary bills. Smart, right? Number 7, impulse purchases. Okay, this next one hits hard. We've all been there. You walk into a store just to browse and boom, you walk out with a new gadget, a pair of shoes, or something you didn't even plan to buy. But the wealthy, they've mastered the pause. Before buying anything big, they wait. Sometimes days, sometimes weeks, just to see if they really need it. Why? Because they hate buyer's remorse. That awful feeling when you realize you just wasted hundreds, maybe thousands, on something you don't even want anymore. So instead of rushing, they breathe, they think, they cool off, and when they finally say yes to a purchase, it's because it truly fits their goals, not just their mood. Number 8, unused subscriptions. You know what really sneaks up on you? Monthly subscriptions, streaming services, gym memberships, cloud storage, apps you haven't opened in months. They all quietly nibble away at your bank account. But wealthy people? They audit everything. They sit down and go, wait, am I even using this? If not, it's gone, canceled. They don't care if it's just $9.99 a month. They know that over time, those small costs pile up into big financial leaks. Instead of subscribing to every new platform, they stick to one or two they truly love. That way, every dollar has a purpose. It's not about being cheap, it's about being aware. Number 9, extravagant gifts without meaning. Here's where it gets really heartwarming. A lot of people assume that rich folks give the most expensive gifts. But that's not always true. In fact, many of them believe that the most valuable gifts don't come with a price tag. Instead of dropping thousands on the latest gadget or jewelry, they plan experiences. Things like a surprise weekend, getaway, a concert their friend's been dreaming of, or even a handwritten letter paired with a meaningful memory, because they know something that most people forget. It's not about how shiny the gift is, it's about how thoughtful it is. The most unforgettable presents don't just sit on shelves, they live in our hearts. Number 10. Competing with others. Let's be honest. One of the easiest ways to waste money is trying to keep up with everyone else. The flashier car, the bigger house, the latest phone. But truly wealthy people? They opt out of that race. They don't care if their neighbor just got a Tesla or if their coworker went on a luxury cruise, because they know that chasing approval leads to emptiness and broken bank accounts. Instead, they stay focused on their own goals. Imagine this: a millionaire living in a modest house, driving a simple car, but quietly building an empire through smart investments and financial discipline. That's real power, quiet, calm, and deeply intentional. Number 11. Over-the-top vacations. Now this one might surprise you. We think the rich are always lounging on private islands, flying first class, sipping cocktails with little umbrellas in them. But many of them, they say no to all that. Sure, they love to travel, but not to impress people. They seek out meaning. Instead of blowing $30,000 on a trip just for the glam, they might choose a cultural journey, exploring ancient cities, connecting with local traditions, or even doing eco-volunteering. They want trips that leave memories, not just Instagram likes. They've learned that walking through a tiny village in Italy, tasting street food in Vietnam, or hiking through a jungle in Costa Rica can be more fulfilling than any luxury resort. And sometimes, a simple family camping trip is more magical than any five-star suite. Number 12. Unnecessary tech upgrades. Let's talk tech. Every year there's a new phone, a shinier laptop, a smartwatch that tells you how tired you are in 12 different ways. But here's the twist. Wealthy people don't fall for it. They ask, does this actually help me do something better? Or am I just buying hype? Unless the upgrade genuinely adds value to their life, they skip it. They'll use the same phone for 3 or 4 years if it still works, and if they do buy something new, it's because it aligns with their purpose, not because of peer pressure. They don't need the latest. They just need what works. Number 13. Excessive convenience services. Okay, here's one that really gets overlooked. We all love convenience. Food delivered to your door, laundry picked up, apps that let you hire someone to fold your socks, but the wealthy, they ask, is this really saving me time or just draining my wallet? They're not against convenience, but they weigh it carefully. Instead of daily meal delivery, they might cook big meals on Sunday and store them for the week. Instead of paying $100 a week for laundry, they might do it themselves, unless they're swamped with work that makes outsourcing truly worthwhile. It's all about balance, smart convenience, not blind spending. Final thoughts. How these habits can inspire you. Here's the truth no one tells you. Wealth isn't built from lottery wins or big salaries. It's built from small, smart choices repeated over time. These 13 habits might seem simple, but when you put them together, they create a powerful shield against waste and a solid path toward financial freedom. So, here's your mission. Start by looking at your own life. Could you cancel one unused subscription? Cook 3 meals at home this week? Wait 3 days before buying that shiny new thing? Every small step counts. And over time, these steps will change your life. Because the real secret to wealth, it's not how much you earn, it's how well you spend.